designed the cockpit panels and indicators for the Space Shuttle Challenger back in the day. So it was very cool when it first started, within the first month or so. But then it became very tedious. It was a mechanical design engineer. Boeing would send you, oh, we want this within plus or minus this range. So there was not much thinking involved. It was pretty much, even the indicators, which are pressure, temperature dials primarily, at some point it became very, very tedious because you're already given somewhat of a spec rate and you're just processing. So from there, after the first month, I got really bored with the job. Really, really bored with the job. Tasks were done right away. The pay was good, obviously, but the location was good, close to family and so forth. However, it became very tedious, and I was interested in propulsion and whatnot, so I wanted to work as a propulsion engineer, similar to what we're trying to do here. Because that's the question I keep getting: how do I become a propulsion engineer? So I applied for a few gas turbine engine companies, and I got an interview with GE up in Cincinnati, GE Aviation. And they made me an offer, but they made me an offer as a mechanical design engineer. They wanted to leverage my experience that I've been working at this company for almost, about 7 months by that time period. So they wanted to use that experience. And that's where the issue was. I told them I want to do aerothermal, meaning propulsion-based things like this. And they said to do that, you need your master's. This was back then. This is not new. Some of your colleagues from last year faced the same scenario. So I quit my job and I went for my master's. It was tough to do that because you kind of have to go back in time and say, well, I'm making a good amount of money, and your family thinks you're crazy because you're going back to school, becoming a poor graduate student, and getting your master's and so forth. I got my master's, enjoyed research and all that, continued for my PhD, and was a faculty at FSU, which is not far from here. Now, during that period, obviously, like I mentioned before, I was actually at a conference and giving a talk on some of the research aspect we're doing, and Pratt & Whitney is the one that approached me. I said, oh, we're having problems with the F-35, so forth, and you want to come and work for us. I told them, I don't want a tedious job. They made it exciting enough for me to move from academia and faculty to there, and because of the advanced programs and so forth, so that was the reason. Now, being at Pratt, I've seen the levels as well. So I've seen it as an undergrad, what it's like to work in industry, and what it is when you're actually having a PhD to work in industry. And I think I mentioned it at the beginning of the class. We were a group in the hot section engineering, about 20 employees, 20 engineers in the aerothermal group. And out of the 20, we only had 4 masters and 2 bachelors. Out of 20. The rest were PhDs. Just to give you an idea. Now, this was a shocker to me because I didn't know this. I went in and I was like, okay, maybe most of them are masters, and I'm going in with all this experience and whatnot, but I realized there's a significant amount of PhDs to actually hire. And the 2 bachelors that we had, they've been doing internships with us for 3 to almost 4 years, summer periods. And the work that we're doing as well is very tedious that I used to do back at the aerospace company in the past. So, the gist out of this is there are opportunities, right? And you are going to get these opportunities. Last year, out of 100 students in my propulsion course, which I kept tabs with most, they got either jobs or they moved to grad school. Some of the students that are actually in my lab, they had 3 to 4 offers, but some of them were industrial engineering jobs. They didn't want them. They wanted to work on propulsion and so forth, so they went and moved on to grad school. Now, the thing is, I think at UCF, aero students are very, very strong, and they're highly desired, right? And specifically with Blue Origin opening and Northern Grumman opening closer to here, I think this generation is going to have a really good opportunity overall. However, try to be selective with the kind of job you get. If you think you want to do the master's or grad level, definitely do it. It's going to help you. Now, most will think, okay, grad school means I got to take out more loans and so forth. That's not true. Grad school is different than undergrad. Grad school, we actually pay you a stipend. We pay your tuition to be here. So keep that in mind, because I think the majority, how many of you knew this? Okay, the majority don't know this. So there are different programs, there are different fellowships, there's RA positions, there's TA positions. Grad students don't pay for their schooling. If you think grad students are paying for their schooling, they don't. Industry. At Pratt, we stopped paying for master's and PhD in engineering. We'll pay you for an MBA, but we're not going to pay you for master's and for PhD. They used to do it, but here's what happened. People got it, and they were being paid full-time, 40 hours, a good salary at Pratt. And as soon as they got their degree, they went to the competitors, and they got higher salaries. It makes sense, right? So Pratt stopped that program. So yeah, it was. So right now they will pay for your MBA, but it will not pay for a master's in engineering or aerospace or PhD. So keep that in mind. Now, I'm not saying that a lot of companies don't do that. Some do. I teach graduate fluids, and I had 3 students that were actually full-time at Lockheed Martin, that Lockheed was paying for them. So it depends on the company itself. And as you go out, you could try to negotiate some of these things, right? You can talk to them and tell them, okay, I'm interested in doing my master's, what are opportunities there, and what are the programs available, and things like that. And in general, a couple minutes, you could classify the workforce for us engineers, specifically in aero, into 3 main sections. There's research and development and manufacturing. This is industry. Manufacturing is the tedious kind of job which involves your CAD, your measurement course, your design course. That's what I did as a mechanical design engineer with my bachelor's. And most are going to be somewhere here. Now, R is research. D is development. So, generally, these are classified by, okay, bachelor's, initially, we'll start right here. They want to train them on some of the scopes that are there. And let's face it, when some of you have done internships, how much do you learn in an internship? You most likely had to do Excel sheets. I'm guilty of having interns that had to do this because it's very difficult, bless you. It's very difficult in 2 to 3 months to have you involved in a very heavy project, right? It just doesn't make any sense. By the time you get